Well, speaking of reboots, we've already heard that the remaining Ghostbusters from the original movie, Bill Murray, Dan Akroyd, and Ernie Hudson, will be making cameos in the upcoming Ghostbusters reboot. Now, it looks like another original Ghostbusters cast member will also be joining the production. Earlier today, director Paul Feig tweeted this: "Gang, trying to keep surprises, but this is about to leak, so I'll just tell you myself. The awesome Sigourney Weaver is going to be in our movie." David, do you buy or sell Sigourney Weaver making an appearance in the new Ghostbusters?
I buy Sigourney Weaver in many things, in pretty much everything. So I'm going to buy her in Ghostbusters. There's all this talk about, you know, cameos and playing different characters. So I guess we're going to have to see. It depends on who she's going to be, or if she's just going to be she's going to be who she was in the original, or she's going to be some new character. But I love Sigourney Weaver. Ever since I saw her in Alien, that was the first movie I ever saw her when I was a kid, and I was actually allowed to watch that. My first rated R movie I ever saw. I loved her, not just because of the skimpy underwear in the final scene, but she still looks good. She's tall. She's got this great energy about her. She's just one of the first badass female characters out there. I mean, they've tried to emulate that with Underworld and Resident Evil, but I think Sigourney is the one you look to when you look at just be able to OG badass. So I buy Sigourney Weaver and everything, and I'm excited to see her in Ghostbusters in whatever capacity that's going to be.
Christian?
I mean, look, same thing as where I buy her to be in the movie. It's Sigourney Weaver, but she's not playing Dana. Right. She's not all these characters. Bill Murray's not playing Venkman. This goes back to what I was saying beforehand. I love Paul Feig, okay, and I love this cast, and I think that this cast, I think we're going to get a lot of laughs out of this movie. I think that this movie could be good. I don't understand why you make a reboot as opposed to you could if you can get Bill Murray, who's going to be in the movie, if you can get Sigourney Weaver and Ernie Hudson, why not make them the characters that they were, even if they're cameos or something too, and continue the lore that you created all those years ago. And now, you know, Venkman's retired or whatever it might be. Venkman or Bill Murray playing I have rumors that he's actually playing like the villain type character, and then she's going to just pop in there to say, "Oh yeah, I was in the first." That's all it does. When she pops in, it's just so it's a respect that she was in the original franchise. I don't like the fact that they're not continuing the lore. But that being said, I'm sure that I'm going to like this movie because I've liked a lot of what Paul Feig has been doing. I just wish for my own fandom of the Ghostbusters franchise that it would continue with what they started.
Well, I'll buy her in the movie. I mean, she is Ripley, and she was, you know, as big a part of Ghostbusters as Ghostbusters themselves in that movie. I actually don't mind if they don't continue the lore. However, I do mind if they take what you're talking about, the rumor of Bill Murray being the villain, taking one of the, you know, main characters or actors from the old franchise and making them a significant character. I was just hoping that these people show up as cameos, like we talked about before, like Dan Aykroyd showing up as like a hot dog vendor, or like Bill Murray is like some random guy on the street. But then if you actually take them and make them a character in this new universe, that's where I think I have a problem with.
But even if you can get them though, like why not? I mean, look at, even though you guys know how I feel about Vacation, okay? Yeah. It was still cool to have Chevy Chase in the movie as Clark Griswold. He's only in it for a scene. But even so, even though I don't believe that movie tied into anything that the original movie did, it's still, to me, okay, at least Clark Griswold was in the movie and said, "Okay, Rusty, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, all right, it's still that same world. Even though I don't love the execution, I still know it's the same world. With Bill Murray in there and Dan Aykroyd in there, if you could get them in there for a scene, why not? They go and they talk to these guys, and Rick Moranis shows up, and they ask him what happened in '84. What happened? How do we fight? You know, and they have to learn. There was a reason why. You know, we'll see how the writing comes out of it.
What's sad about it though is that Sigourney and Bill Murray had such great chemistry.
Yeah,
I mean, they're a great couple to watch. I mean, every time they were together. So I mean, it's said that
his wife.
Yeah. So if he is supposedly playing the villain, we probably won't be able to see that. So.
On a side note, Paul Feig also on Twitter has been arguing with tons of fans, telling them to go F themselves. And you know what? I read some of the stuff that people wrote to him, and I'm like, man, what's wrong with some of these people? This one guy was like a diehard Ghostbusters fan, and in his bio, he wrote, "Ghostbusters, 1984 to 2015, R.I.P." And I'm like, wow, the movie hasn't even come out yet. You're being so melodramatic. Yeah. Like, at least wait till the movie comes out, then at least go watch it and be like, "Oh, this movie sucks," or whatever. But Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that's beyond silly, but I do understand. I just don't understand the casting choices. That's my thing. Like I said, I like Spy. I really like Spy, and I think this movie will be funny. The cast is great.